everybody, this is Arisaig, Jedi Knight of the Conclave, and I am here today to do a lesson which I am dubbing the simple lessons, the first lessons a person beginning on the Jedi path should incorporate into their understanding of what we are about. Firstly, one of the hardest lessons to learn, but it's one that one must learn very early on, is that of humility. You don't know everything, and neither does anybody in the Jedi community or here at the Conclave. We must be humble, you must be humble. In order to effectively take on training, one must humble themselves and admit to themselves, I do not know, and I want to know. I am not the best version of myself yet. And perhaps you never will be. But that's something to find out along the way. One of the ways that we see humility along the training path would be that of an apprenticeship. It is the first major part of a person's training beyond the initiate's path here at the Conclave. But this one actively requires somebody for yourself to go to somebody and say, I want to go beyond, and I believe you can help me with that. It is an act of humility as well as one that helps you along your own personal path. That being said, nobody is above training. I am a knight here at the Conclave. I was a knight at the Temple of the Jedi Order. I help around in the various Jedi communities. I am still very new. I've only, at this point of filming, I've only been part of the Jedi path for 4 years now. I still have so much more to learn. I have still so much more to go through and to learn from various people that I haven't met yet. I'm helping other people and training them, and in turn reinforcing the lessons that I have been taught thus far. So even in training somebody else who has had to humble themselves to me, I have to humble myself to myself in order to learn more from my own teaching. The second lesson that one can learn in the wider Jedi community, not just here at the Conclave, is do not be hypnotized by rank. A lot of people see a fancy rank bar or see somebody saying, oh, I'm a master at so-and-so place. Anyone can have a lofty title. It does not mean that they are either actually worthy of it or if they're just self-assigning it. Be careful. I'm a knight here. Some people might not agree with that, but that's up to them. I work to be worthy of such a title, and that is the key there. I work towards it. Having the training is great. Having the rank is good. It shows that somebody has been deemed worthy of teaching, for example. But it is important not to look at their training. It's not important to look at the rank. It's to see how they incorporate that training into their actual path. I know people who have fantastic training, but they don't incorporate it. They don't practice it in their day-to-day. And that's where the issue lies. There's a line from the Into the Spider-Verse movie where Peter Parker, he's tied up to this boxing bag, and he says, don't look at the mouth, watch the hands. And while he was monologuing, he managed to untie himself because he was too busy, the protagonist was too busy watching what he was saying rather than watching what he was doing. Watch the hands, see what the person is actually doing. Are they getting active in the community? Are they helping people? Are they building people up? Are they still training? Because one of the pitfalls of a Jedi is stagnation. Sometimes you'll see somebody get so far and they'll stop, and that's it. And they think that they've accomplished it. There is no accomplishment in this path. There is no end goal. The end goal happens when you're done. When you cannot physically train anymore because you're dead. So don't think that you're above training, and remember that nobody is above training. It ties right back into humility. The third point, the third mini lesson would be, if you decide to take on this path, do so wholeheartedly. We can only expect so much of you, and that is what you expect of yourself. I only expect the best somebody can give me. And that might not seem like a lot, but what I consider my best may not be what somebody else may consider their best. You can only expect your best, and that is that is the most anyone can expect of you. So, as long as you are honestly giving your very best, that is all anybody can push of you. If somebody says you need to be better and you have honestly given it your all, you can dismiss that because you have done your best. And you, as long as you, don't get me wrong, we will know if you're not actually giving your best. It is very, very obvious when somebody is going part-time, doing a half measure. If you're doing your best, it will display itself. In terms of half measures, not doing your best, what then? Well, nobody can force you to do more, do your best. That's on you. But I will say this, giving half measures will lead to half results. If I only put in half the ingredients to a pie, I will only have half a pie. And that's not really how pies work. It will just be a very poor pie. And we want you to have the very best. We will give you everything you need to go along your path. But we need you to do as much as you can possibly do and give it your all. Now, almost counterintuitive to that last point of giving it your all, doing it wholeheartedly, is don't take this seriously. As I just said, sounds very counterintuitive, but it really isn't. We're Jedi. You're going if you are a new person coming along to this, depending on how public you decide to make this, you may be mocked for it. I fully expect most of you might get some sort of mockery during your time. God knows I have. I've been openly criticized on the streets. I've been on a newspaper article, and the comments on the online version were rather atrocious, and sometimes. Most of the times it was quite kind. Most people seem to understand that we're not out to harm anybody, and our methodology, our philosophy is very straightforward, and they can be very understanding. But that being said, there are people that are going to mock you, even within the Jedi community. So don't take this seriously. We're Jedi. We started as the most observed method of one of the most quoted sources of where we started was a 2001 census that said we started as a joke. And we did, sort of. Some people say we started before that, and we did. The word Jedi was put out there back in 1977. But in 2001, there was this big joke. Put Jedi down on your census as your religion. And why would we not lean into that? You don't have to make fun of yourself, but you need to understand people might mock you. People might put you down for this. As with anything, if I decide to become a Muslim, I'm sure some people wouldn't understand. If I decided I wanted to grow a bright pink mohawk, I'm sure people wouldn't understand and they would mock me for it. If I decided to tattoo my whole face with geometry and stuff like that, I'm sure people wouldn't understand and mock me. Any stance is subject to mockery. Any solid stance. So you must understand to let go of your own personal ego, that little pit in your stomach when somebody says something, and laugh at it and be like, yeah, it is a little strange, but it's helped me. And if you are honestly doing this wholeheartedly, being able to humble yourselves and being not over worried about rank, doing your absolute best along this path, really nobody will be able to honestly mock you for this. And that is the simple lessons that I have today. I hope there's something that everyone can take from this, no matter how long you've been along the path. And really, this is for the new people that are out there, the people that are coming to this and wondering what the Conclave is about, and generally what the wider Force community is about. I am Arisaig Winterthorn, also known as Edward Ratcliffe, Jedi Knight of the Conclave, and may the Force continue to guide you.